Now, it's a story that has been written and told before. The fall of Tuskys, the fall of Nakumatt, and even the fall of then-listed Uchumi supermarket. What has not been brought to you as a consumer are the dynamics between the key players in the sector, who include retailers, suppliers, and the regulator. On our business and technology segment, On the Money tonight, Nina Shaban takes a deep dive into the retail supply engagement that has left many wallowing in losses, running into hundreds of millions of shillings.
This report has to start with some background. The famous Nakumatt first store closed shop in May 2017, and the 6 last stores were closed in January 2020. At the time of exit, the debt had risen to a tune of 38 billion shillings. Tuskys, on the other hand, had their last branch close in March 2023, with a total of debt being 19.6 billion shillings. While Uchumi, although not fully shut down, the chain store with only 2 branches remaining in existence is in debt worth 3.25 billion shillings as at June 2023, and this is according to the Kenya Retail Report. It came as a shock to many when these retail stores that had become a household name exited the market. What really went wrong, and why did all the 3 make the same mistake? A sit-down with Willie Kimani, a veteran in the retail space and the current founder of a discounted retail store Jaza, gives a better understanding on what dimmed the retailers' lights.
And the reason why most of the retailers have actually struggled, including even the global ones, we can actually speak about ShopRite here or Choppies here, the guys who also came in and actually, it has always been a myriad of different things. I'll have to say, for example, one, corporate governance issues were quite clear when it came to someone like Uchumi and Tuskys.
Other reasons include refusal to pay suppliers, leading to accumulated debts, internal losses perpetrated by wayward employees, tax evasion, poor inventory management processes, mismanagement, costly lease termination. The shutdowns caused misfortunes to both retailers and suppliers. According to Wamboy Mbarire, Chief Executive Officer of Retail Trade Association of Kenya, RETREC, the code of doing business had to change from suppliers bringing in products to the supermarkets and expecting to be paid their money after sales being made, to suppliers asking their retailers to come up with agreements to move the product together, a move that has not been received greatly.
There was a lot of, shall I say, gentleman agreements pre-2017-2018. Supplier would bring the product, leave it with me, walk away for 30 days and come back looking for their payment. Post that period and the interest and entry of international players who then bring in best practice, there was the awakening of the fact that, by the way, you have a product, I have a shelf, we need to move your product, we will move it together. It's not my responsibility to move it. So that was part of what we then started having discussions as we were doing the prompt payment code.
Wamboy adds that there are inefficiencies in the retail supply business, placing emphasis on creating a system that allows market demands to set the prices. Retailers have constantly received blame to the inverted retail supply relationship.
Not to lighten the issue, but I keep asking, we've had 3 supermarkets, 3 fairly large supermarkets close. And this is why I have that conversation of who keeps the money. We've had 3 supermarkets, 3 large supermarkets close with a lot of people's money, I agree. Some were able to recover, some were not able to recover. But if we're the ones making the money, how come we're the ones who closed?
Suppliers who served the 3 stores were left counting huge losses, some running into millions of shillings.
To bring this interview to a close,
Ishmael Bet, the chief executive of the Association of Kenya Suppliers, clarifies.
Suppliers actually lost a lot of money. In Nakumatt, they lost about 19 billion. In Tuskys, the books are still being audited, but they are estimating around 18 billion. Uchumi still holding back 6 billion. We had the Choppies, which went under. We had Ukwala. We had there's one There are quite a number of them, actually. There are quite a number of them that went under. And this one, they went under with a lot of money that belongs to suppliers.
Bring in the regulator, Competition Authority of Kenya. Billions of shillings lost, businesses terminated, and jobs lost. What role do they play in all this? According to Priscilla Njako, manager by Power Department at the Competition Authority, the demise of Tuskys and Mulay supermarkets gave birth to the buyer power provisions in the Competition Act.
The Act enables us to intervene in instances of abuse of buyer power, to investigate instances of abuse of buyer power. And if I can very quickly just explain, abuse of buyer power occurs where you have a powerful buyer by virtue of their size or by virtue of their strategic importance, and they are able to exert influence over a smaller supplier and dictate the terms of engagement, dictate the terms of varying such a contract, and sometimes delay payments because there's no, they are not quite under pressure to make these payments on time as agreed.
The regulations have seen the Competition Authority of Kenya recover delayed payments of up to 2.45 billion shillings.
I'll point out that when Tuskys was, having liquidity challenges and was finally declared bankrupt and placed under receivership, we were able to recover from this retailer that was in dire straits a total of 2.25 billion shillings owed to suppliers.
So where does the retailer-supplier relationship stand now?
So the relationship is actually, in more cases than not, they have to be a cordial relationship. And as you ask, at the moment, how is it after what they went through? So far, the relationship is actually cordial.
I think the relationship has greatly improved. Or maybe I should say has greatly been formalized, because the relationship has always been there. But for the largest period and perhaps build up to the challenges that was very informal.
CAK developed a buyer power provisions, but it was a bit lean. So when we came with our document, they found now, or they could accommodate very easily because they had already developed something under buyer power. So they picked the document, picked part of what was very relevant, and reform the buyer power. That is what now the buyer power abuses regulation.
In response to the myriad of challenges dodging the retail sector, some store owners are now prioritizing consumer needs and relegating prestige to the back burner.
Talking to our customers to make sure that the footfall comes in, and more importantly also has been to actually develop products and that are actually for the Kenyan market. For example, we came up with the first private label milk, which we sell at 44 shillings everyday price, and the whole total market or even our competitors are actually reacting to this kind of a product and all that, which tells you clearly we are not only making the impact within our customers but to the entire retail sphere.
Nina Shaban, NTV.